welcome to the live red carpet of The Lazarus Effect, brought to you by HBO and Red. Now, we're just getting started here, but this is going to be a 30-minute documentary directed by Lance Bangs and executive produced by Spike Jonze. The reason why this documentary is so important, it's going to profile what happens with the transformative effect when people have access, who have HIV and AIDS, when they have access to the ARV medications, which are antiretroviral meds. You've heard a little bit about that, but I want to give you a sneak peek of the movie that's going to be coming out May 24th on HBO. Here's a sneak peek right now. Check it out.
The way I was feeling, it was like I was already dead.
By early 90s, every black Zambian had a family member or a close friend that had this illness and had died.
With HIV, I've gone through a lot. In my life, I've had 3 children, and I've lost all 3 to HIV.
After I started my medication, it was like I was being resurrected.
The hope began to rise. People that started medication in May, they are looking very different now. They're looking very well.
If the ARVs had not come, I believe this country would have been crippled.
I can't believe this.
The most important thing to know is that HIV and AIDS in Africa is no longer a death sentence. It is preventable and it is treatable. And with the efforts of so many organizations, they are making sure that that is so. And what is the most beautiful thing about it is that people in as little as 40 days, their lives can be transformed from literally death's door in some cases to not only surviving, but thriving. We have here on the red carpet some VIPs that not only work with Red and HBO, but some celebrities that are very passionate about this cause to save people's lives. I think it's pretty astronomical to think that in 40 days, and what you'll see in this film is that people can go from being emaciated and really, really waifish and skinny and weak from this disease to being completely productive and alive and strong. And I think that is what is so important about this cause tonight and the Lazarus Effect. Now, you out there might know that the Lazarus theory comes from the Bible, where Jesus came down and brought Lazarus out of the dead. And that really is the theme that's going on in this movie. And that's what is so powerful about the transformation that people make with the ARV medication, which you've heard is the antiretroviral medication, which right here we now can provide for people in Africa with HIV and AIDS for just 40 cents per day per person. That's 2 pills that they take that transforms their lives. Now, I want to give you a little bit of perspective here. In 2002, the medication cost $10,000 per person per year. Now, okay, $10,000. You may be able to scrounge that up in America. That is a lot of money in Africa, especially when half the population makes maybe $2 a day. That's almost impossible for them to take care of themselves. Well, with the efforts and the major efforts of a lot of organizations here in America and internationally, they've gotten that price down to 40 cents, which is pretty remarkable. Here at the Lazarus Effect, you'll see exactly why that is being done. And we want to talk about that. I'm going to show you what we produce. It's the Lazarus Effect campaign PSA. I want you to take a look at that for 40 cents a day. The celebrities that are in this are amplifying just how little 40 cents is. Check it out.
40 cents? I got an egg.
I got gum.
I got a hairnet.
A kazoo.
A candy necklace.
An orange. A Band-Aid. For 40 cents, I got one of these.
I got a really great hat.
I got half a song.
Extra mayonnaise. A stamp.
Helium.
Some bling. Some fries.
Balloon dog.
Fabric softener.
This much of a Shirley Temple.
I got a mustache.
An apple.
Sprinkles.
15 minutes of parking and a ticket.
Lipstick.
2 pills a day is what it takes to stay alive. If you're HIV positive, those pills cost about 40 cents a day.
Lunch bag.
Okay, now we're here live with Susan Ellis Smith. She is the CEO of Red. This is your baby tonight. Can you tell us a little bit about the Red model?
Sure. The Red model is very simple. You choose a Red branded product, and 50% of the proceeds go right to the Global Fund to buy ARVs for people with AIDS in Africa. And through that model, we've raised in 3 years $150 million.
Wow.
And that money's gone right to work. We don't take a cut of it. It's 100% of it goes right to work on the ground.
Why is it important for people to support the Lazarus Effect and get involved?
Well, it's important because there's real success. When the Global Fund began, there were only 50,000 people on ARVs. And it was very expensive. It was $10,000 a year for someone to get that medicine. Now it's 40 cents a day. 5 million people are on the medication. We're able to make real progress in mother-to-child transmission. And so it's working, and we think that that's a very smart reason for people to get involved. This is smart, targeted aid, and when you see the impact of that, it is really life-changing.
Especially when there's so many organizations that are asking for money, and I think people are like, well, where's my money going? And in this case, 100% of the contributions go to Africa.
That's right. We do not take a cut of it, and the Global Fund is the largest initiative in the world that is attacking these 3 big diseases: malaria, tuberculosis, and HIV and AIDS. So it's the one that has the most resource, and it has accountability. I can take anybody to where our grants are working, and they can see for themselves where the money is going and how it's being spent. And it's a ground-up program. It's not a program that's pushed out into the countries. They decide what they need. They put in a request for a grant, and if it's successful, they get more money. If it's not successful, they don't get the next tranche of money.
And in 3.5 years, you guys have made astronomical waves in this problem.
Well, we're also trying to build awareness. So part of our mission is raising money, and we've raised $150 million. But part of it is that we want to get the word out, and that's what a little bit of tonight is about.
So retweet, put it on your Facebook, watch The Lazarus Effect May 24th at 9 p.m. on HBO. But it's also going to be airing in other places, correct?
It will. It's going to be running on Channel 4 in the UK, and it's going to be running on the internet.
So on YouTube!
On YouTube. That's a first for us. HBO was very gracious in letting us partner with YouTube, and it's a first for them. They've usually kept that content for themselves. So we want everybody out there in the world to see it.
And everyone has been asking me, how can I get involved? What are some of the simple ways that people can get involved?
So there are simple ways to get involved. 1, when you make a choice, choose Red. Buy Red, save lives. 2, join the One campaign, get involved politically, and let your representatives know that this issue matters. And the third is really just to get people to either tune into HBO or get on YouTube and look at the video and pass it around to your friends. Make sure you spread the word.
And the fact that you can just go to Starbucks, which I think all of us do, and buy a red bag of coffee, it's so easy.
Right. It is. I mean, if you can go buy African coffee, and $1 from that will go to the Global Fund. You can make your latte red. So those are simple, everyday things that you can do, and those things have real impact.
Well, congratulations on this project. People out there can't wait to see it, and I just say thank you from all of us.
Well, thank you for being here with us, and
Absolutely.
Thanks for this. Bye-bye.
Have a great night. Nice to see you. Well, there she is, the CEO of Red, who's very passionate about this cause. You know, it's amazing when people put their minds together, they can affect change, and they do it time and time again. This organization has been together for 3.5 years. For them to raise $150 million, it's pretty astronomical. We have coming up here the director, Lance Bangs, who's going to be talking to us about what he experienced while he was directing the movie, as well as Dr. Michel. And there's a couple different ways I want to tell you how to get involved that are really, really easy. All of us are very viral. We're very much on the computers. You can Twitter at Join Red if you want to find out what Red is up to and how you can spread the word. You can also go on Facebook, www.facebook.com/joinred. And even better on Twitter, if you want to hashtag Lazarus Effect, you can just help the cause altogether by yourself. We really can affect change if we just put our minds to it. Now, you heard from the CEO of Red, 40 cents a day. And what I love about that PSA that you just watched is that 40 cents in America is hardly anything. And you saw those celebrities who got involved, where Alek Wek said she had one eye with eyeshadow. And Iman was talking about, and here he is, the director, Lance Bangs. And I was just talking about the PSA. I'm Tanika. Nice to meet you. Okay, love the visor.
Thank you.
Is that for a reason tonight?
Yeah, just sort of keeping this out of the eye line.
You don't want to see the cameras? Well, thank you so much for being here. This is a very powerful film that you directed, a 30-minute documentary. Can you explain to people the impact that you experienced while you were there filming this?
Yeah, on a personal level, I'd had friends and teachers over the years that had passed away from HIV and AIDS-related illnesses through the 80s and 90s. And in the West, like most of the people that I know had been less worried about it, was less on their mind in recent years because of the access to ARV medication here in the West. And then you realize when you read articles or learn more about what's happening in Africa that the lack of access to that medication has meant that a huge number of people were dying, that there was a genuine risk that the continent itself would have staggering losses, that countries were at peril, that, potentially the entire continent could suffer too much death.
Since you're here, I want to break down those facts. 33 million people in the world have HIV and AIDS. 22 million of them in Africa.
Yeah, when you realize that, you realize that's a place that you really do need to get help into. And on, even beyond, in a more selfish way for the United States, like if you let a continent like that suffer and fail, it's just I think Colin Powell said it's a potential breeding ground for so much unrest that you want to strategically just help people for that reason alone, if not for your own humanitarian reasons.
Yeah, I think that's a really interesting point because there are people going, what about America? But that is a huge continent on our planet, and for it to be more than 1/3 of the victims of HIV and AIDS to be on that continent, we have to pay attention.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's about one world, isn't it?
It really is.
I want to ask you, what is the most shocking thing that you experienced while being there? The film, the 30-minute documentary, which will be premiering on HBO May 24th, does have a hopeful ending. But what was the thing that you were most moved by personally?
It was important to me emotionally to sort of represent people, let them speak for themselves. And I'd sort of brace myself thinking, not everyone's going to get access on time, not everyone's going to have the proper follow-through, so not everyone's going to make it. You get emotionally connected to people and really bond with them intensely when you're making a film like this. At least I do in my...
There's no way you can't, right?
And so there are people that you connect with that struggle and suffer and that don't quite make it. But on a staggering level, the vast majority of the people responded so well and got access in time, and you see them kind of blossoming, and every time you go back to visit again, they're almost unrecognizable. Their facial structures change.
Yes.
They're up on a roof fixing things for their kids, and the last time we saw them, they couldn't move from a hospital bed. So it was an amazing experience, and I'm really happy with how the film takes people seriously and has my taste and my aesthetic, but lets people speak for themselves and doesn't have like an outside narrator or Western commenter.
It's just them speaking to us, like heart to heart, to let us know what's going on. How do you hope this impacts people, ultimately?
Hopefully people who see this broadcast now will watch the film when it's on HBO in the United States, which is going to be May 24th. It's going to be airing in the UK on Channel 4 that same night.
And YouTube, which is pretty astounding.
Yeah, it's a pretty amazing accomplishment they got that worked out.
Do you think you said everything you wanted to say in 30 minutes? There's so many stories.
There's so many other stories. There's all these other issues about like adherence or access in rural areas that we intend to kind of take the footage I shot, because it's an amazing amount, pretty much all day long I was just filming.
Sure.
And make a series of short films that we'll put up online or other places to kind of give more information about these tangents, because you don't want to cram everything into and overcomplicate the one story you're telling, but there is so much else to tell.
And the message that you would like to leave with people, obviously how to get involved, is what?
Basically that the Global Fund to Fight AIDS, Malaria, and Tuberculosis is the group that actually disseminates the funds to people in these different countries in Africa. And they have a kind of smart targeted aid where they hold people accountable. They're not just dumping off money and taking a chance of it getting embezzled by corrupt governments or,
I think that's the most important point, is that we have a lot of organizations coming at us asking for money. And I think we get a little concerned with, where's my money going? Can I see it affect people? And in this case, we actually see it through this film.
Yeah, in this film you really do see that in this kind of smart targeted aid through the Global Fund, it really does work. It does get to people. It's not being wasted or misused, and that people are absolutely alive who would not have been, not only overall, but in the course of this film, people that would have started the film and then not been alive at the end of it are alive now.
There are some people that absolutely break my heart in the film, but I think ultimately at the end, there is a hopeful message.
Yeah, the entire film builds, to this very clear, very vibrant, hopeful ending.
It still needs to be said, though, that 3,800, up to 4,000 people die every day still in Africa from HIV and AIDS, and it really is about the access to the drugs, and that's really what the effort we're making tonight.
That's correct, yeah, that's true.
Well, thank you so much for directing. You did a brilliant job, and I can't wait to see the follow-ups. I think that's going to be something people are going to really want to see after they see the Lazarus Effect, is that you can tell so many more stories when this is over. Have a great night. Congratulations.
All right. Good night, Facebook.
Dr. Michel Kazatchkine is in the house. Hi there.
Hi.
How are you? I'm Tanika. Nice to meet you.
I'm Michel Kazatchkine, the
Go ahead.
director of the Global Fund to fight AIDS, TB, and malaria.
So this is a big night for you tonight. Tell me about why it's so important for people to get involved with the Global Fund and RED and ONE.
It is important because it's about the lives of people. Before the Global Fund, basically just 6 years ago, almost no one was accessing AIDS treatment in Africa and in the developing world. Today it's 4.3 million people accessing treatment. In Africa it's 3 million. And the Global Fund has now mobilized and committed over close to $20 billion in just 8 years. It's huge money.
Huge.
And but it's huge results and it's huge hope. And so this is why today is so important.
Why did you want to get involved initially? What was the first thing you heard about HIV and AIDS patients in Africa that made you want to do something about it?
Well, I've been involved in AIDS, from the first days of the epidemic, 1983, in my country as a physician. And then I've been involved more and more in Africa and in the developing world, and it was involved with the Global Fund since the day of its creation. That is when Kofi Annan called for what he called at that time a war chest against AIDS, and that is what it is about. And it's a war chest that is not just governments providing money, but everyone.
Absolutely.
And RED is about the consumer not only providing funding, but also becoming aware
Yes.
what it's doing.
Absolutely, and that's really the effect of tonight, the Lazarus Effect, which premieres on HBO May 24th at 9 o'clock. It really is about getting that message out, isn't it? The fact that your organization and other organizations have been able to get the cost of the medications, the ARV medications, down from $10,000 a year to about $160 per person a year is pretty
less. Now, the cheapest we have, this is the pill.
He has one.
Yeah, this is the pill, and this is 40 cents.
Wow.
And 2 pills of 40 cents, that is 80 cents per day, that is keeping people alive, having mothers take care of their children, having children go back to school, having people go back to work, and bringing hope throughout Africa.
It's amazing that they used to think it was a death sentence a couple years ago. It's just, I have HIV and AIDS, I'm going to wait to die. But now you've given people hope. Now with these pills, they can not only survive but thrive. Have you been to Africa? Have you met any of these people?
I'm going almost every month to Africa. Actually, I'm coming this very day. I mean, this night I traveled from Maputo in Mozambique.
Really?
Where I was yesterday afternoon. I was in Maputo. Yeah.
It's amazing. You must be inspired by what you're seeing in Africa. Tell the people the transformations that are possible.
The transformation is just communities that were decimated, families where parents would die, the eldest brother would take care of the others.
Yes.
He would stop going to school to actually go and work in the field to feed his brothers and sisters, his grandmothers taking care of the families. It is and it is, of course, the economic life that is just affected because it erodes human capital.
We're very viral right now. We actually have a question from Cody Merritt on Facebook for you.
Okay.
He wants to know how ARVs work. Break it down, the most simplest form.
Very easy. ARVs just prevent the virus from multiplying itself.
They block the HIV in the body.
They block the HIV in the body. The HIV does not multiply anymore. So the amount of virus drops. And with the amount of virus dropping, people feel better. That's the answer. I'm so pleased with Facebook, by the way.
Yes, it's amazing what they've done.
Yes, so congratulations. And this year, 2010, Facebook and networking through Facebook will be absolutely crucial, because 2010 is a crucial year for financing development.
Why do you say that? Why is 2010 more crucial than years before?
For two reasons. One is that it will be the year of development. Secretary General Ban Ki-moon will be having all heads of states of the world meet in September to look at where we are with development and aid. And second, because it's the year of replenishment of our funds. So the donors will be coming on October 5 here in New York and say how much money they will actually provide for the next 3 years.
I think you guys have shown well, though. You've raised $150 million for this cause and have made such big changes, so it works. We have other people coming. Yep. Thank you so much. We really appreciate Tom Freston's coming.
Yes.
He's right behind you. You can introduce him. Come on in here, Tom Freston.
Tom Freston is actually we call him a super friend of the Global Fund.
I can't wait to meet the super friend. Thank you so much, sir. I'm Tanika Ray. Very nice to meet you. You are a super friend. What does that mean to you?
Well, I guess that means I'm better than just a regular friend that I Global Fund.
Exactly.
They need all the friends they can get, and they have a lot.
Absolutely. This is a very powerful 30-minute documentary that HBO and Red are producing for May 24th's premiere at 9 o'clock. What is the impact that you hope it has on the public, the general public at large?
Well, I think with all the bad news people have heard about HIV and AIDS over the years, to see this miraculous people coming back to life for 40 cents a day is what it costs, and it's possible, and see the kind of energy it not only brings to the people who are ill, but the people around them in the villages, and how whole communities come back to life. It's sort of miraculous, and it's the most dramatic way you probably can show the impact of this great medicine.
Yeah, I think people are mostly astounded by the cost, because just in 2002 it was $10,000 a day per person. I mean, a year per person, and now it's down to 40 cents. I mean, in America, that's nothing.
Well, they did a lot of. President Clinton did a lot of that. They really ground these drug manufacturers. They ground them down to pretty much absolute cost, and then bought in very large bulk. So it's about 40 cents a day. It could get a little bit cheaper, but probably not too much.
So there are other super friends involved, not just you. There's Bill Clinton. Who else? Who are some of the other super friends of this movement?
Well, they have a fellow named Peter Chernin, who runs Malaria No More, who used to be a big executive in Hollywood, who now devotes a lot of his time to helping the Global Fund and helping with malaria and malaria nets throughout Africa and other parts of the world.
I love that. Well, it's going to be inspiring for a lot of people. Can you give us just a couple easy ways to get involved? There's Facebook, there's Twitter, there's retweeting. Do you tweet?
I don't tweet, but my wife tweets.
Okay, super wife tweets. Okay,
my wife tweets, and she gets a lot of retweets.
Well, make sure she hashtags Lazarus Effect, because that just propels the message and gets people involved.
We want to get this out everywhere, so anyone who's watching, and I tweet to your friends and get everybody you possibly can to know about the premiere.
Absolutely.
And watch it on. It's going to premiere on YouTube as well, and pass it around.
And Channel 4 in the UK, so it's going everywhere, which we love.
Definitely Channel 4. They're great.
Thank you so much for being involved. Thank you for being a super friend, and thank you for helping get the message out. We really appreciate it.
Very nice.
Thank you. Absolutely. Bye-bye. We've had a couple people. Oh, come on over here. We have some people on the red carpet. Hypnotic Brass Ensemble. Hi, guys. Hey. Surround me with the love. Yes. Hi. Maybe I shouldn't have introduced it that way. Hi, guys. So tell me why you're here tonight, and why is it important for you to support Red, HBO, and the Lazarus Effect?
Well, we got an opportunity to be a part of the score. They called us and said, could they use two of our songs? One of our most popular songs is War, and another song is Mercury. We're a very diverse band that deals with all spectrums of music, from a cosmic and a spiritual level. And because this is something that's dealing with giving back, something that's, educating people about AIDS and all the different things, we felt that we needed to lend our hand or lend our support to this.
Now, what did you guys know? Were you guys surprised that there are 33 million people with AIDS in the whole world, and 22 million of them live in Africa? Were you shocked by that number?
I was definitely shocked by that number. And it's time to make a difference about that. Yeah. And let's hope that today is definitely about, you know, people coming together and bringing awareness and bringing change towards that whole effect to where we can bring that number down. And let's say for the next generation, that is obsolete, deleted, or, you know, something less than what it is today.
Absolutely. And for just 40 cents, I mean, what do you guys spend 40 cents on? That's nothing.
It's nothing.
It's like a piece of gum.
I mean, you know, yeah, that's nothing.
Have you guys been able to go to Africa at all?
We got an opportunity to go to Nigeria. We got an opportunity to go to South Africa.
Lagos.
He sounded like he had a good time in Lagos.
We've been privileged to be able to explore or travel the world. We just come off a tour of traveling to Europe. So, I mean, anytime we can go back to Africa and give whatever type of hand we can, you know, being that we are descendants of Africa, I mean, that's a privilege and an honor for us.
Well, I can't let you go without introducing yourself real quick. What is your name?
I'm Tariq.
I'm Gabourey.
I'm Tycho.
Jafar. Baji.
And you're not going to leave, and you are?
Atama.
You got to sing me a little bit of what's on the soundtrack. You know that, right?
The bad thing is, we are musicians.
No, so can you hum it?
Horns. No, we play horns. What you have to do is listen.
Okay.
Get online, Hypnotic Brass Ensemble .net, and you'll find everything that you're looking for.
Thank you so much for contributing to the cause. Have a great time tonight, and keep it going. Thank you. Thank you. Make sure you hashtag Lazarus Effect, okay? When you tweet. You promise? Promise? All right. We have so many more people coming out tonight. To submit your questions, make sure you go to Facebook. It's www.facebook.com/joinred. You can also go to Twitter @joinred and send us your questions, and we will answer them for you right here. From Facebook, we have a question from Megan McCullough. She wants to know what she can do to get involved. Well, we've tackled that a couple times tonight, but I'm going to break it down just to make it super, super easy. You can always buy red, which is the most important. You've seen these products at Starbucks. You'll see a red bag of coffee grinds that you can buy. Now, it costs you no more than a regular bag of coffee. However, $1 of the proceeds of the contributions go to the Global Fund, which then go to save lives in Africa. That's a really easy way. We all go to Starbucks. You can get a red latte, which is the easiest thing in the world. Or what you can do is go to some place like Apple and buy a Nano, which is red. They have products across the board that are red, and it doesn't cost you as the consumer any more money, but it saves lives, and that's the most important thing. You know, also, there's a way that you can help just by going on your Facebook page or your Twitter page, and you can hashtag Lazarus Effect, which I'm going to pound into you guys tonight. You can also join ONE, which is Red's sister company organization. ONE is very, very profound in wanting to affect change in the world. So that's one way. So you want to go join Red, you're going to go to ONE, and you're also going to make sure you donate money, because it only costs, I've said it 1,000 times, but I'm not going to let you forget, 40 cents a day per person for 2 pills to save somebody's life. And when I say it's really, truly a transformation, I don't think you quite understand that we're going from people who are literally at death's door in some cases, who in as little as 40 days have completely rejuvenated. They are alive, not just surviving, but thriving. And they're carrying on with their lives as if nothing had happened. So I want to show you one more time the PSA campaign that the Lazarus Effect produced. This is a little sneak peek into what the celebrities are saying about how little 40 cents is. Check it out.
40 cents? I got an egg.
I got gum.
I got a hairnet.
A kazoo.
A candy necklace.
An orange. A Band-Aid. For 40 cents, I got one of these.
I got a really great hat.
I got half a song.
Extra mayonnaise. A stamp.
Helium.
Some bling. Some fries.
Balloon dog.
Fabric softener.
This much of a Shirley Temple.
I got a mustache.
An apple.
Sprinkles.
15 minutes of parking and a ticket.
Lipstick.
2 pills a day is what it takes to stay alive. If you're HIV positive, those pills cost about 40 cents a day.
Lunch bag.
Hey Hey guys, okay, we're live with Zach Galifianakis. Yes, the funny man, but this is a very serious cause, and we so appreciate you coming out for this. Why was it important for you to support Red, HBO, and the Lazarus Effect tonight?
It's a cause I think everybody should be aware of, and anything I can do to heighten that cause, I think it's important. I don't have a social life, so this is
No, I don't believe that's true. No social life? Aren't you the Mac Daddy now? No, not happening, huh?
No, I'm not into that scene, even though I say that on a red carpet. I try to, but I'm looking forward to seeing the film. I like anything that Spike Jones is involved with, so it'll be good.
When you think about it, for us, we've been telling the message all night. It only costs 40 cents a day for 2 pills to save a life in Africa. Think about what you spend 40 cents on. Can you think of anything? It's like a piece of gum.
Usually condoms are a good...
And we're live on Facebook.
Well, that's a good thing.
That's good. Yeah,
No, 40 cents. I mean, 40 cents. I know that's a great question. You can't even get anything for 40 cents. So yes, that's when you put it in perspective, it's kind of embarrassing that the way that our mentality is about the way Western society spends their money. And
I mean, I think Hubba Bubba is like $1 these days.
No, Hubba Bubba is $1.20.
Oh, sorry, my bad. I stand corrected.
Bubblicious is 85 cents. Still, thank you.
The man knows. The man knows. But also, the people can donate. Let them know they can buy Red. Have you bought? You've seen those things in Starbucks. A bag of coffee. You go to the Apple store. You see a Nano.
Yes, I've seen them like in T-shirts and stuff. But
the Gap.
Is it the Gap that has the red thing? Yeah. Listen, I think anything anybody can do, and if you need to buy a cup of coffee to donate it so you get something in return, fine. But my suggestion is just donate.
Yes.
You don't necessarily need to get a pair of flip-flops to have red on it. Just do it.
But if you need to get flip-flops, we're down for that too. We support the cause, right?
Exactly.
Thank you so much. You do great work. We really appreciate you coming out and supporting Red tonight.
Have a great Thanksgiving.
He said have a great Thanksgiving. I love live television. It's pretty funny. You know, he was just on SNL. He's a hilarious man. But as you can see, the stars are coming out because they want to support this cause. And what was pretty amazing is that when the Lazarus Effect did a campaign, a PSA, the celebrities started pouring in. Right now we've got board members, Juliet Flint and John Sykes. Hopefully they'll be coming through. You can come through here. I'm going to have them come on my good side. You guys come around me. Hello, Juliet.
Hi, Tanika, how are you?
I'm very good. Oh, very good. Nice to meet you. I love the pink badge.
John Sykes.
John Sykes. Hello, I'm Tanika Ray.
I was just told to come in here. I thought I was going to go after.
No, you guys are going together. Why not? You can share, right? Okay. I'll make sure you take turns talking. Okay, explain to me. It's a very powerful night. I think it's really beautiful that people are coming out to support this. Tell the people out there why it's important to support Red, HBO, and the Lazarus Effect.
Well, Juliet, I'll let you go first.
Juliet? Yeah, ladies first, right?
Ladies first, John, ever the gentleman. So there has rarely been a better opportunity to do something amazingly simple, like giving money to save a life every single day. 40 cents, as you know, saves a life. There are still 4,000 people every single day that are dying of AIDS. 70% of those are in sub-Saharan Africa. And all you need to do is keep shopping the way you're shopping, spending money the way you spend it, and join the amazing Red community. HBO have been an amazing partner to Red, helping us tell the story of the Lazarus Effect, which is truly so powerful, seeing people have the ability to truly come back to life.
And they really do. I think people are going to be very surprised when they see this. I've seen it already. I've been honored to see it. And to see people go from almost death's door in some certain circumstances to being vibrant and to being productive in their lives is astronomical.
Well, I think the photos that we all see when you hear the terrible disease of AIDS are the photos that we all know, which is basically people who are on the edge of death. And the beauty of this documentary is it shows the effect. We all talk about the cause. This is the effect. This is really your money at work, and literally pennies a day at work, and how it can change a life. And to draw the metaphor of Lazarus is perfect.
I think it is. A lot of people know the Bible story of Lazarus and Jesus coming down and saving him from death's door.
And to see these amazingly beautiful, healthy people engaged again in their families, you say, oh, now I get why we do it.
And the other thing to remember is just the scale of this every single day. that 4,000 people a day die of this, and by spending such a small amount, you can truly bring people.
And it could be preventable and treatable if these people had access. So that's the next initiative, is to make sure that all those people have access, I'm sure. But it's pretty astounding that 33 million people around the world have HIV and AIDS, and 22 million of them in Africa. It blows your mind when you think about that's the population of Australia. And so people need to know the impact that they can have just by giving, buying red, etc. What is the impact you hope that people take away with them? What is the message you want them to take away?
I think the message to take away is that it is basically the end result, the beauty and the health, and that you can live a normal life. Yeah. And it's a side that we don't see of AIDS. And if you buy a pair of Converse sneakers, you buy an iPod, you go to Starbucks, that literally the smallest purchase, changes a life like that on the spot.
And it doesn't cost the consumer any more money. I think that that's a misconception as well. They spend the same amount of money on the products, but through the Global Fund, part of that, the proceeds go to Africa.
To Africa every single day, and it's amazing. When last summer we were in Africa, we were seeing the medicine of work. We were seeing communities that are ravaged by this incredibly just destroying disease. And you then think about, you're not changing your buying habits. You're buying a Nano, you're buying Nike laces, you're going to Starbucks.
Things you're going to buy anyway.
Things you're going to buy anyway. And it makes you feel good. And it makes you feel as though you're making a difference in a very, very significant way.
Well, we're very modern here. We actually have people on Facebook asking questions. I'll ask this to you, John. Why is the Lazarus Effect an important story to tell?
Well, I think that it's one of the greatest metaphors, in that it came from the Bible, and that you can apply it today to the worst disease on the planet that's ravaging the earth. And then basically that something so old and so simple as a biblical story applies today. And the great thing is, it has a happy ending.
Absolutely. Thank you, Dan W., for that question. That was a very good question. Thank you guys for being here with me. Have a wonderful evening to celebrate this movement, because it really is making changes in this world. Thank you, sir.
Thanks so
nice
much.
to see you. Be well. They're not actually wearing red, but they're red through and through. I can feel it. Let's see who else is coming. We've got the gorgeous, the fabulous Iman right here on the carpet. She's coming down. As you know, she is from Africa, and she's very passionate about the causes there and saving lives. We will have her momentarily. She looks gorgeous. She's in the PSA as well, and she talks about what 40 cents cost and what she can buy for 40 cents. And what I love about her is that she said a candy necklace. Now, you think that a candy necklace is for kids and it's pretty insignificant, but that even makes the point even grander. The fact that a kid's candy necklace can save somebody's life for a day, I start to tear up just thinking about it. What it is that these celebrities did that is so powerful is that they were willing to give their time for the PSA. They were willing to give their time to express to all their fans and retweet and put on their Facebook page how important this is. Now, celebrities don't give themselves to just any cause. That's why you know it's super important when they decide that they don't want anything in return. We have Iman right here. They don't want anything in return but to get the message around and to save lives. That's the most important thing. But can we get a fashion shot of no? Because she's a gorgeous model. There's something about the way that she does business also, that she's always been a humanitarian and she's always looked out for people in need. Her makeup at times has given the proceeds to people in need, and for her to lend her celebrity is pretty huge. Let's wait for Iman, shall we? She's coming. Hi, how are you? Oh, I love that you're here. It's so nice to see you and for you to be a part of this cause. Why was it so important for you to support the Lazarus Effect tonight?
I feel that a lot of people sometimes feel that it's too overwhelming, that they can't do anything. But the Lazarus Effect shows us how simple things we do really makes a big difference. And that you not only affect one person's life, that you save their lives, but you affect their families, their communities, the whole continent at large. So it's really important to see that it's not a bottomless pit. You can do something very simple.
And I love that you used a candy necklace, because it's so, kids have candy necklaces. It's nothing.
Exactly. It's absolutely nothing. I mean, a gum. And you're changing all of this. You're making that effect.
And I'm not going to say as an African, how are you impacted, but as a human being, how are you impacted by HBO and Red getting together to get this message out there?
It's very, very important. I mean, I think AIDS is going to define our century and what we do about it. And I'm a mother of a child myself. I have 2 children. So it's like I want to know that my daughter, when she asks me one day, what did you do about it in your lifetime when this was going on, I would be able to say I've done something.
Have you been able to go over there and to witness what people are going through?
Oh, absolutely, because also I'm the global ambassador for Keep a Child Alive.
Right.
And that's what we do. We provide ARV drugs for children and families who are affected with AIDS. But what's great about Lazarus Effect is the effect that you make, the profound effect. And it's not just one life, as I said, it's family, community, the whole continent.
Especially when people used to think it was a death sentence. Exactly. They used to think, oh, I have AIDS, I'm just going to wait to die. Now it's about, it's treatable, it's preventable. Not only can I survive it, but I can thrive after it.
Absolutely. What we wanted, especially for Africa, is that to be able to be given the chances that are available in the West. Because nowadays, as you said, it becomes like living with diabetes. Yes. As long as you take your medication, you can have a healthy, long life. It's not a death sentence anymore.
No. Well, thank you so much for being here. We really, really appreciate it. Iman, we have something on Twitter for you.
Yes.
And you have a lot of more. We have Bono here.
Yes. Exactly.
It's going to be a fantastic night. Thank you for being with us. It's so nice to see you. Be well, my dear.
Thank you.
We have Bono. He is here. He has made his entrance. And as you know, he is one of the founders of Red. He's obviously very passionate about the cause and how it affects people. We're going to have him soon, and he is joined by a large group of people that hopefully we'll be able to get to, but we will see. Bono has been very active. If you want to submit your questions for Bono, now is a very good time. Do it on Facebook at www.facebook.com/joinred, or you can go to Twitter and ask your question at joinred, and we'll hopefully get it in time so we can ask Bono himself, and he can answer you straight on. He is right around the corner, so if you want to do it now. The thing that to remember is that this is a joint effort by HBO and Red to produce The Lazarus Effect, which is directed by Lance Bangs and executive produced by Spike Jonze. It is all about the people in Africa that are affected by HIV and AIDS. There are no celebrities in the documentary, which is 30 minutes. That's going to be premiering on HBO May 24th. It is all about the people pre-ARV drugs and the access to it, and post, and how their lives have been affected and transformed. I'm going to give you one more sneak peek of the movie, premiering May 24th at 9 o'clock on HBO. If you're in the UK, you can watch it on Channel 4. As well, it'll be showing on YouTube. Everybody has that. Take a look.
The way I was feeling, it was like I was already dead.
By early 90s, every black Zambian had a family member or a close friend that had this illness and had died.
With HIV, I've gone through a lot. In my life, I've had 3 children, and I've lost all 3 to HIV.
After I started my medication, it was like I was being resurrected.
And the hope began to rise. People that started medication in May, they are looking very different now. They're looking very well.
If the ARVs had not come, I believe this country would have been crippled.
I can't believe this.
We've got Iman, who's already walked the red carpet. We are waiting for Bono and some HBO executives who are going to give you a couple more details about how you can get involved. We've discussed it a couple times before, but I'd like to drive home the point. You can always buy Red. We all know what those products are. We've all seen them in stores that we like to buy stuff at Gap, Apple, we've got Starbucks, it goes on and on, Converse. So it's pretty easy to get involved and to buy Red, and it doesn't cost you not 1 cent more than the regular plain old Nano at Apple Store. It just happens to be Red, and a proceeds of your money, contributions from the money that you spend on the product actually goes right to the Global Fund, which goes right to Africa to save lives. That's really, really important. Another thing that you can do that's super easy that we're all into is this viral thing. You can Twitter #Lazarus Effect. Effect as many times as you can. That spreads the word. We want to get a trending topic. We want to make sure the world knows about this film, which is a 30-minute documentary that's going to be premiering on HBO May 24th at 9 p.m., as well as in the UK on Channel 4 and on YouTube. We have Bono coming right along. He is taking pictures with his, I think he's got a Nano. He does. He has a red Nano in his hands and shoelaces. Now, these are red shoelaces that are also going to the effort that he is holding in his hand. He's now going to be interviewing with HBO. We would love to give him, we'd love to get him next, but I don't know if that's going to happen. Wish us luck. Can we get a couple of HBO executives? We're live with Red. No.
Sorry, I didn't do anything.
All right, no problem. We'll patiently wait for Bono. What I love is that for the celebrities to get involved, some of the details that I think really moved people, and Zach, as you saw earlier, Zach Galifianakis is like the biggest comedian on the planet right now, but he kind of came down here because he felt it was important, and his passion spoke to him, and his heart spoke, that it was really important for him to get involved and to, make a serious little message out there that, we can all affect change. It doesn't take much. Hi there.
Nancy Abrams from HBO.
How are you? Thank you so much. Come on in here. I'm Tanika Ray.
Hi.
Now, this is actually sort of a homecoming in a sense. It's really a beautiful moment that people are coming together and affecting change. What do you want people to know about the impact of this film?
Well, it's a very positive story. We're so used to hearing sad stories or somewhat depressing stories, but this is a very positive story about what's happening today, the changes and the differences that these medications can make in people's lives, and also how much more we have to do.
I think thank you first of all that HBO wanted to be a part of it. Why were you so passionate about making sure HBO got on board with Red?
Well, we felt like it was a story that hadn't really been told, and it was a great team behind it.
Yeah.
And we felt it was something that our subscribers and the general public would want to watch.
You guys are very humanitarian. You like to put things on that affect change and change people's mindsets on how they can change the world as well.
Absolutely.
And it's super easy. When you find out it's 40 cents, you're like, we should be doing this more, right?
Absolutely. That's why I think the PSA campaign is such an interesting companion to the film, because it really shows what any of us can do.
And how easy it is. I've been asking people all day on Facebook. People are writing in their questions, what do they spend 40 cents on? Zach Galifianakis, who's like the biggest comedian right now, couldn't even think of anything. Right. It's hard to even think, nothing even costs 40 cents anymore in America.
Right.
But in Africa, it makes huge waves.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the fact that so many organizations and people's efforts came together to make that possible, and what it could mean for the future is tremendous. There's so many people who need access, so we can't let up the fight, but it's great that what's happening now is truly life transformative.
And we can't let people forget. I think it's like the front page news. What's the hot new thing on the front page of the newspaper? It's still going on. People need to know that 30 million people have died. That there's 30 million people around the world with HIV and AIDS, and 20 million of them are in sub-Saharan Africa, which is, you can't even really wrap your brain around it until I went online and found out that there are 20 million people in Australia. That's the population of Australia. That's a huge number.
And it's still hard to conceive of, which is why I think the film works, because it concentrates on just 3 or 4 individuals who you really get to know as people, and you see them in their everyday lives, in their villages with their families, going about daily life, and you realize what a huge absence it would be if they weren't able to do that.
It does break your heart, but at the end, it's hopeful.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. Thank you for being a part of it. Have a great time tonight and celebrate everything that you've done.
Okay.
She's been working hard. We appreciate that.
Thank
Be well.
you so much.
Absolutely. We have Hayden Christensen. He's here. He actually is very supportive of the movement as well, the Lazarus Effect. We're going to be getting him momentarily, and I see Bono's just eking up. I swear I'm not just promoting, they're actually here. They're going to be here in a moment. Hayden and Bono are in the PSA. I've aired it a couple times for you guys to check out. You can always go to Join Red. And here's Hayden himself. Hayden? Okay, maybe not. We're live. Does that matter? But we're live. We're going to wait. We're going to be patient and wait for Hayden to come this way. He is in the PSA, and what he amplified that costs 40 cents is extra mayo on his sandwich. Seriously, in America? That's a drop in the bucket. That's absolutely nothing. So we appreciate him being part of the PSA. And Bono showed that it was a paper hat that costs 40 cents. And he wanted to make sure that that was clear, that a paper hat to save a life, I think we all can handle that. We have also coming in, it was great to have Iman, and it was great to have the HBO executives. Really want to get Bono because he's one of the creators of Red, and he obviously is very passionate about what Red and HBO and the Lazarus Effect are doing with people who suffer from HIV and AIDS. I'm going to show you one more time the PSA to amplify what 40 cents buys. Check this out while we're waiting for Bono, but I swear he's coming.
40 cents, I got an egg.
A good gum.
I got a hairnet.
A kazoo.
A candy necklace.
An orange. A Band-Aid. For 40 cents, I got one of these.
I got a really great hat.
I got half a song.
Extra mayonnaise. A stamp.
Helium.
Some bling. Some fries.
Balloon dog.
Fabric softener.
This much of a Shirley Temple.
I got a mustache.
An apple.
Sprinkles.
15 minutes of parking and a ticket.
Lipstick.
2 pills a day is what it takes to stay alive. If you're HIV positive, those pills cost about 40 cents a day.
Lunch bag.
We are back. We're here with Hayden Christensen, who contributed to the PSA. And you, what did you add that to your sandwich that cost 40 cents?
A little extra mayo.
That's nothing, right, when you think about that.
It's a little ridiculous.
How did you come up with that?
It was just a collaborative, thing. We all just tried to come up with things that illustrated the ridiculousness of how inexpensive these drugs are and how many people aren't getting them.
What's the most interesting is that it's hard to even think of what costs 40 cents. That's what's so ridiculous about it.
I know.
What do you want people to get from the Lazarus Effect? What message do you want people to receive from this film, this documentary about how we can affect change?
I hope that people, one, get really excited that there are drugs out there that only cost 40 cents a day that really, really change people's lives who are living with HIV. And the fact that there are a lot of people who aren't getting these drugs and are really desperately in need of them.
It is all about the access, because I don't know if you know the numbers, but 33 million people around the world are affected with HIV and AIDS, 22 million in Africa, and still 3,800 people a day die from HIV and AIDS. So it's just about getting access to the ARV drugs, which is the most important. And why did you want to be? I'm sure you have 1,000 things to do, but you thought it was important for you to be here today. Why?
Very important. We just got to get people aware, There's still so many terrible things that take place in this world, and we got to start doing something about it. So.
Absolutely. Do you tweet?
I don't tweet, no.
He doesn't tweet. Well, we have a question from Twitter for you. Why did you want to be involved? Break it down again.
Just because I was given the chance to be involved, and it's a really, really positive thing that these people are doing, and the Red campaign is a pretty special thing, I think.
Yeah, it is, and you are making a huge wave right now. The fact that you're involved, all of your fans are going to get involved. So thank you so much for being here and for supporting. Have a great time tonight. Absolutely.
We're going to go back.
We're waiting for Bono still. Hi there, live television. It's okay. We're all one family here. That's the most important thing. We've got a question from Facebook we're going to ask right now. This is from Emily Tonninson. How many people have been helped by Red so far? Well, in 3.5 years, 5 million people affected with HIV and AIDS have been impacted. And in as little as 40 days, their lives transform from sometimes at death's door to living, thriving, being productive human beings. And that's the most important thing. We do have Bono. Obviously, everybody wants his time. He's one of the co-founders of Red, so he is a wanted man right now. But we swear we're going to get him momentarily to ask him any questions that you have. If you want to ask Bono a question personally, please go to Facebook at www.facebook.com/joinred, or go to Twitter and ask Bono a question at joinred, and we'll ask him. But you got to hurry up and do it, because as soon as we get him, we're going to lose him. So get on board. We have a question from Maggie T from Facebook. When will the film be on air? Well, I've said it a couple times, but I will tell you again in case you just came on board. It premieres May 24th on HBO at 9 o'clock. You can see the 30-minute documentary called The Lazarus Effect, directed by Lance Bangs and executive produced by Spike Jones. As well, if you live in the UK, you can watch it on Channel 4, and anywhere internationally, you can watch it on YouTube. We all are familiar with that. Bono is really passionate about this, and the thing that we love most is about he wants to take himself out of it for like the PSA campaigns, and the documentary itself has no celebrities. It really is about the people who are affected before they get the ARV drugs, the antiretroviral medicine, and then after they've received it, as little as 40 days, their lives are transformed. I mean, what more do you want? I can't stress it enough. I think what's so beautiful is that people know that to whom much is given, much is expected, and people have answered the call tonight. We had Hayden Christensen that, you know, doesn't go out to a lot of things, doesn't support a lot of things like a lot of celebrities do, but found that it was important. We have Anna Wilkes. How long has Red been around? Well, I can answer that very easily. It's been around for 3.5 years. And the thing that's most effective is that in 3.5 years, they have astronomically affected HIV and AIDS in sub-Saharan Africa. When you think about the numbers, I mean, I keep trying to wrap my brain around 22 million people in Africa have HIV and AIDS. I looked online what 22 million people is. It's the population of Australia, that entire continent, so it's pretty profound. What I love most about all of this is that with the money that Red has raised, $140 million over the last 3.5 years, 100% of the $140 million goes to Africa to save people's lives. There aren't many organizations that are willing to give up 100% of their contributions to the cause, so we're really proud of that. For them to accomplish that in 3.5 years, imagine what will happen in another 3.5 years from now and how many people they're going to be able to save. Here we finally have Bono. Hi, Tanika. Nice to see you again.
Really good.
Good. I've been telling people that this is really important to you. You're a co-founder of Red. What do you want people to know? The Lazarus Effect, this is the first time you guys have done a documentary to sort of get the message out there. How do you hope it impacts the people who are going to watch this on YouTube, watch this on HBO May 24th?
You know, when you realize how simple it is to change the course of someone's life, somebody who's got HIV/AIDS, you know, a wife who was passed on by her husband, or a child who got it through their mother, then you just get excited. You get excited about being part of the solution. 40 cents a day is what it costs for these pills. So 2 pills a day, and your life is utterly transformed. You'll see in the Lazarus Effect film, you'll see this woman, Constance, right at death's door. And 40 days later, 50 days later, she's up, back in the workforce, and in her case, she's actually become an educator in her native Zambia, telling people the risks and sort of educating people on prevention of the virus.
Which is really important, because I think there was a mentality that you do die from HIV and AIDS. Up until recently, they go, wow, there's a way for me to prolong my life and live productively and healthily.
Well, yeah, 20,000 on the continent of Africa, this beautiful, magical, extraordinary continent. I've just got back. I spent most of March there. On this continent, you have 20 million deaths. 20 million people have died of this disease.
I gotta tell you, I'm gonna stop you right there, because I couldn't wrap my brain around it, and then I went online and found out that the population of Australia is 20 million people. I mean, that blows you away.
Think about it like that.
It blows you away.
That's a good way to visualize it. But you go shopping, go to a shopping mall, you walk down here, New York, 5th Avenue, you can buy a Starbucks red coffee, saving lives. You can buy an Apple Nano. Look, there's a red one.
He brought one just so you know what it looks like.
How beautiful is that? I mean, it's beautiful. These are, Nike has been doing it, all their big stars have been wearing it, LeBron has been wearing, you know, the red laces.
Yeah.
But, you know, everyone can buy them. Great gifts. I'm wearing one here.
Uh-oh, here he goes. The shoelaces. And he's braided and made it all fancy. We love that. He's posing now, modeling. Go Bono, work it out. I mean, that is the most important thing, is it doesn't cost us as the consumers any more money.
You are good. You're
high five.
You're a red warrior. I'm
a red warrior, baby.
Yes, you are.
I came on board, and I feel like if it's so easy, why not? And I think that we have so many people coming at us from different angles with Haiti and New Orleans, and people want money. But in this case, it's a little bit different, and we can see through the Lazarus Effect how it actually affects people.
These companies are not asking you to put your hand in your pocket. They're saying, if this means something to you, we'll put our hands in our pockets and share some of our profits to, you know, save these lives.
And you've been on board since day one. In 3.5 years, you have to be proud of yourself, sir.
Yeah, I think we're at 150 million now.
That's a lot of money in 3.5 years.
It is, and it's about to go ballistic. Red, we got some amazing Red products, some very surprising things.
Can you give us any sneak peeks? No?
But New York is going to be, we're going to paint it red.
Are you really?
Yes, we are.
The Empire State Building's going red, huh?
And lots more besides.
When does this happen?
The mayor is very interested here in the city. Mayor Bloomberg has been a campaigner for us, so that really helps. But all over the country, people are, you know, responding. And in America, you've got this sense that Americans want to show the world what they're made of, you know, and their values. And this is a great country, and this is a great way of, you know, expressing that.
Absolutely. I have to say, obviously your dreams have come true. You made this happen in 3.5 years. Can you give us some future goals? Like, do you have any crazy goals that you plan on hitting in a couple of years? That in the wildest dream, it would happen through Red and your organization?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I would love to see... I'd love to get involved in financial services. I'd love to see people, you know, have their paychecks go red. I mean, these are dizzy dreams, but, you know, just where you round out or your paycheck and give a tiny fraction, but you put them together, millions and millions of them, you can really, that could blow it out.
Bono, you say it's a dizzy dream, but it always starts with a little dizzy dream that dreams come true. Miracles happen.
I'm a dizzy guy.
You're a dizzy guy. Well,
you're not a dizzy girl, are you?
No, thank you so much, Bono. We appreciate you coming out and being a part of this.
Oh,
sir.
Hold on.
And Alek Wek is in the house. Celebrities love to give back.
See you. It's going to be good.
Hi.
Yes, it's going to be really good.
Hi, darling. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you.
Obviously, you're wearing red for the cause, which we love. How did you get involved, and why are you so passionate about being a part of the Lazarus Effect, Red, and this HBO premiere?
How can you not get involved? That's the question.
You are an African, so you've seen firsthand. Have you been to these places where people are affected?
I think I'm just so touched the fact that 2 pills a day can save a life, even though there's no cure for HIV. But
there's a treatment.
There's a treatment. It's preventable and it's treatable.
And the woman can born a child without being positive.
Yeah.
How amazing is that?
It's
mind blowing. Can save a lot of lives. And people at Bono.
I work for
I'm like so touched.
I went to see in Ghana. I went to see one of the Red clinics that Red has built.
Wow.
Very, very proud moments. You would love it. You would be so... I mean, because the African nurses, African doctors, they're the actual heroes. We're just giving them what they need.
You're giving them access to what they can do. Their biggest... Yes,
and if you meet them, these are the most inspirational people in the world. They could get paid much more if they went north of the equator, but they've stayed home to put out their own, these fires, this health crisis. And they're just saying, give us the drugs, give us the drugs. We're letting people die for no good reason. But these are inspirational.
There's heroes all along the path with the Red.
Well, you
can't deny it.
You can't deny it. Well, the premiere is about to start. People are grabbing me from every direction to get Bono and Alek inside. They're going to go and watch the film. The 30-minute documentary is going to start any second now. I think we're going to wrap up. We have Gabourey Sidibe. We would love to talk to her before we wrap up completely. She's taking pictures. Alek, you want to get in the picture? You can see they're doing a photo op right now. We have Hayden Christensen, Gabourey Sidibe, Bono, and Alek Wek. We'd love to get Gabourey. Gabourey, we're live on Red, streaming. We're live on Facebook. We'd love to get Gabourey. We're gonna get Gabourey any moment now. She's gonna come over and talk to us. Now she's a young star who, gosh, what a year for her. What a miracle year for her. And she's already giving back. To those that much is given, much is expected, and she's already on board. So we love that. We're going to have her any moment now. That was a powerful moment with Bono and Alek. He's definitely infecting change. She's coming any moment now. Here she comes. She's a young little thing. We love her. She was hilarious on SNL. Yes, I know her name. Gabourey Sidibe.
Right. I got it right. I know
her name. I'm getting corrected from the sidelines. Gabourey, how are you? I'm Tanika Ray. How are you?
Hi.
It's so good to see you. First of all, you have had a miracle year, and for you to be, you're so young, and for you to already know how important it is.
Young.
Well, honey, take it. I'm taking it. Since you're young, you go, that's right, I'm young. But for you to already want to be affecting change is such an amazing stand for you. Why did you want to be a part of Red and what the Lazarus Effect is going to affect?
Well, right before I got involved with the organization, I had no idea that only 40 cents a day could help someone, like, really change, like, if you've seen the book, like, it changes so many people, like, so quickly, and it's really amazing. And I had
dramatically.
Yeah, and I had no idea that only 40 cents a day. I spend 40 cents a day probably 40 times in one day. Like, if I could have helped 40 people in one day, I would have.
It's a goosebump moment when you think about it, isn't it?
Really.
And you were in the PSA, the campaign, the Lazarus Effect PSA. What was your item that you held up for 40 cents?
Like this, like, a ring. It's kind of like a ring pop.
I was going to say, was it from Cracker Jacks? It was like a little bling ring.
Jack 40-cent ring, yeah.
That probably broke on your way home.
A little
40
bit, yeah.
cents.
It did, but it's only 40 cents.
It's true, and I don't know if you've been to, have you been to Africa?
Yeah, I've been to Senegal. I'm Senegalese.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I've been a bunch of times as a child.
It's important for people to think, oh, it's so far away, why do we care? But 22 million people are affected with HIV and AIDS in Africa, and not only, but 33 million around the world, and 22 of those 33 are in Africa. People need to know, what do you hope that this film, how do you hope that it impacts people?
I hope that it brings so much awareness, because, like I said, like, I just didn't know. If someone had told me, I would have been able to help a million times over. And so I really hope that people take this film in and realize that they absolutely have the ability to help. And then I hope that they tell someone else and someone else and someone else.
Do you tweet?
I do not tweet.
Gabourey, we got to get her on Twitter. But
I Facebook.
Facebook?
Yeah, I just don't like. I'm like racist against tweeting. Like, for some reason.
Why is that?
I don't know. I don't like the word tweet or twat or Twitter. Like, I just don't like any of them.
But you're down with Facebook, thank goodness.
Yeah, on Facebook. That's a normal name.
That's a normal name. Where we're streaming live on Facebook right now, and the movie is going to premiere May 24th on HBO, as well as YouTube and Channel 4 in the UK. So you're going to be seen over and over and over. Tell the people straight on why they need to get involved.
You need to get involved because only 40 cents a day can help somebody's life. Like, really can change someone's life. And 40 cents is it's really minuscule. And so do what you can. It's only 40 cents.
Absolutely. And you were hilarious on SNL, my dear.
Thank you.
Congratulations. We love what you do, and we love that you're already a humanitarian in this cause. As a celebrity, get used to that. As a celebrity, you affect change a billion times more than anybody else.
Go change then.
Go change, says Gabourey Sidibe. Thank you so much. Enjoy the film and enjoy your evening. Congrats on all your success.
So nice meeting you.
Absolutely. Bye. Superstar. We love that. Well, that's going to wrap it up for us tonight. We're going to be starting the film. Thank you so much for being a part of our live red carpet to promote the debut of The Lazarus Effect on HBO May 24th at 9 o'clock. And remember, buy red, join one, go to @JoinRed on Twitter and hashtag Lazarus Effect, as well as go to your Facebook page at www.facebook.com/joinred. Thank you for being a part of change. 40 cents a day, you guys. Bye.